Okay. You ready? Andrew, you're not allowed to listen to memes while we're working, okay? When it comes to the world of cinema, no one movie ties together intense action with amazing visual storytelling quite like Edgar.
Edgar Allan Poe?
No, shh.
Or like...
Shh. Quite like Edgar Wright's 2010 masterpiece. But today we aren't talking about what Scott can do, but instead, we're answering the question.
How much of an ass beating can he take?
I was thinking something more like, how tough is Scott Pilgrim?
Why'd you say it like that?
It's like a transitioning sort of pronunciation.
Transitioning.
Let's move on. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a message from our sponsors. No, I'm joking, it's just me. Before we move on, I'd like to note that since the bastards at Universal Pictures have seriously strict copyright claiming policies, I will be using stills from the scenes that we will be analyzing, as well as panels from the comics that parallel the scenes from the movie. I get copyright claimed enough as it is just for using music, so I'm playing it safe.
So, how are we doing this thing? Scaling it to the League of Evil X's?
Absolutely we are. We're going to be doing things in order of weakest to the most powerful to get an idea as to how tough Michael Cera really is. For starters, let's count out 3 little leagueies, including both brothers, and the final boss, Gideon. The twins don't have feats themselves outside of their music dragon, and other than Gideon's sucker punch, he doesn't have much for feats either.
Looks like more of a sucker stab to me, but we can't really use a lot of the footage for context, so let's move on.
You'd figure the master of demon hipster chicks and fireballs would rank a little higher than the other evil X's in their simplistic fisticuffs, but no.
Yeah, the guy is pretty much chump change and doesn't put up much of a fight. After a 64-hit combo, he's pretty much paced.
Patel uses fireballs to incinerate 3 nerd-ass band kids. Get fucked. Oh, hey there. In order to incinerate 1 human person, you need about 100 megajoules of energy. We'll multiply that by 3 and bing bang boom, 300 megajoules, aka the equivalent of 300 sticks of TNT. Most of the actual fight with Roxy has Scott getting battered around before Ramona steps in to do some actual kick-ass combat, involving her massive 40-pound warhammer. Roxy's most impressive feat is when she mollywops Scott into the ceiling of that Dance Dance Revolution Club.
There's much less ceiling than there is dank-ass weave of steel I-beams. In order to turn these straight beams even less straight, she'll need to be packing a punch worth 36,000 pounds of force.
For reference, the human femur requires 6,000 pounds of force to break. That's 6 whole-ass femurs getting the old Glenn Ree treatment. Oh, mama. Chris Evans is he is the hunkiest hunk on human Earth. Eat your heart out, Zac Efron.
Cool. But what's he packing?
Well, according to his leaked dick pics, a solid 8-inch...
In the movie? How strong the man be? I don't want to know about his super soldier serum swinging wang.
Well, in the movie, Lucas Lee yeets Scott into a castle. According for the time of the tumble Scott takes after impact, we find that he fell 27.08 meters. Similarly, we can use this frame just after Scott left Lucas's grasp and see the angle that he was thrown at was roughly 30 degrees. With that in mind, we find that Scott lands 101.06 meters away.
Well, as a 2-time geometry class dropout, I can tell you that by using distance A and distance B, we can determine that the hypotenuse, and therefore the actual distance Scott soared, which works out to 104.62 meters.
Accounting for that distance as well as the 1.2 seconds of airtime Scott gets, we find that he was moving at a speed of 87.18 meters per second. Going frame by frame, we find that he was accelerated to this speed in 8/30ths of a second, giving us an acceleration of 326.9 meters per second squared. Multiplying that by Michael Cera's simpy-ass mass of 65 kilos.
Fucking noodle arms over here.
We find that Scott must have collided into that castle with a whopping 21,250 newtons of force. Oh yeah, you know the guy who plays frickin' Superman packs the biggest punch, and we're finally here. Feels good.
Alright, let me take a crack at this science stuff. Todd uses veganism to launch Scott into the clouds and is in the air for 12 whole seconds. According to certain studies, a human scream can be heard from 3,000 meters away. Accounting for that distance and assuming he spent half of his airtime reaching the aforementioned 3,000 meters, we find a velocity of 533.33 meters per second. Using that in Cera's pathetic 65 kilo mass in the equation for kinetic energy, we find that Todd's vegan powers must have exerted an energy equivalent of 9,240.
Nope, 9
Oh
million.
shit!
Yeah, you got it.
I read.
Just
okay.
read the number.
9,244,328.90 joules.
Nice.
But let me take over this next part. Taking this energy and dividing it by the distance that Todd's arm moves, we find a force output of 9,782,358 newtons. That is 4,253 times 4,253
Bro, numbers are hard.
4,253 times stronger than the force required to bust a human skull open like a juicy ass peach, which is definitely not a euphemism for eating ass.
Astronomy, yeah, astronomy. Speaking of which, what about that time when Ramona mentioned how Todd just straight up punches a crater into the goddamn moon?
Well, scaled to the moon, and assuming it is a 1-to-1 copy of our moon, the crater stretches 121.2 meters wide and 60.6 meters deep.
More like 60.0 meters deep in your mom.
You motherfucker!
That's right!
Using the equation for the volume of a hemisphere and applying the factor for pulverization of rock, we find that Todd must have struck the moon with 99,929,900,000,000 joules, aka 23,883 tons of TNT.
That's more energy in one punch than the Fat Man bomb dropped on Nagasaki. My favorite bombing.
Oh, me too. Imagine going through all of that just for a little bit of sexy sex time with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Oh yeah, I'd do it.
What?
What?
So you'd have sexy sex time with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Without consent?
Wait, no! Don't cancel me! Don't cancel me! Don't cancel! Hey everybody, it's me. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to support me to get even more content, be sure to hit my Patreon, which is linked in the description below. Alright, I'll see you next week.